Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you work, how many hours you put in, or how much you save, you still feel stuck in the same place financially? It's not your fault. You've been told a lie. A perfectly packaged, socially accepted lie that says if you just work hard, stay loyal to your job, budget every penny, and avoid risk, you'll get ahead. But deep down you know that isn't happening. You're not getting ahead. You're barely staying afloat. And it's not because you're not trying hard enough. It's because the real enemy isn't external. It's not taxes. It's not inflation. It's not even debt. The real enemy is internal. It's invisible. It's psychological. It's the number one wealth killer no one talks about. And it's been with you your entire life. Silently shaping your decisions. Holding you back from taking action. Keeping you afraid. It's what we call poverty programming. And the scariest part is, you didn't choose it. It was installed into your mind without your permission. From childhood. From your parents. From teachers. From media. From culture. From the very structure of the society you live in. This programming is the voice in your head that tells you you're not meant to be rich. That money is evil. That rich people are greedy. That wanting more is selfish. It's the reason you hesitate when opportunity knocks. It's the reason you downplay your dreams. It's why you play small. And it starts early. Think about what you were told as a child. Money doesn't grow on trees. Be grateful for what you have. Don't take risks. Go to school. Get good grades. Get a secure job. Work hard. Retire at 65. These aren't just phrases. They're code. Subconscious commands repeated so many times they become beliefs. Beliefs that run your life on autopilot. You were taught to trade time for money. You were never taught how money actually works. You were taught to be an employee, not a creator, not an investor, not an owner. The system doesn't want you financially free. It wants you dependent, predictable, easy to control. That's why schools don't teach financial literacy. They don't teach how to build wealth. They teach obedience. Memorize. Repeat. Obey. Fit in. Don't question. Don't dream too big. Just follow the path. Work 40 years. Save what you can. And hope it's enough. But hope is not a wealth strategy. Hope is a trap. And most people live their entire lives in that trap. Working jobs they hate. Buying things they don't need. To impress people they don't like. All while drowning in quiet financial desperation. And here's the worst part. They think it's normal. Because everyone around them is doing the same thing. Poverty programming isn't just about being poor. It's about thinking poor. Even when you start making money, that programming still lives in your mind. It shows up in how you spend, how you save, how you invest, or don't invest. It shows up in fear, in guilt, in self-sabotage. You get a bonus and immediately feel the urge to spend it. You start to succeed and suddenly feel anxious like you don't deserve it. That's the programming fighting back, trying to pull you back into the comfort zone, into the familiar struggle, into the identity you were taught to protect. Because poverty isn't just financial, it's psychological. It's an identity, a belief system, a worldview, and escaping it requires more than just making more money. It requires rewriting your internal code, upgrading your beliefs, challenging everything you were taught. Because here's the truth. Wealth is not just about strategy, it's about psychology. Two people can learn the same business model. One becomes a millionaire, the other stays stuck. The difference isn't the strategy, it's the mindset. One has the programming of possibility, the other has the programming of limitation. And unless you confront and replace that old programming, no amount of hustle will save you. You'll keep repeating the same patterns. Different job, same paycheck to paycheck stress. Different year, same financial anxiety. You'll think you have a money problem, but really, you have a mindset problem. So how do you break the cycle? How do you uninstall the poverty program and replace it with the wealth mindset? First, you have to become aware. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. You have to recognize the voice in your head that keeps telling you to play it safe. You have to notice when fear is running the show, when you hesitate to invest in yourself, when you shrink back from opportunities. That's not you, that's your programming. And once you see it for what it is, you can start to override it. But it's not enough to just think positive. You have to rewire through action. You have to take steps that contradict the old story. If your old programming says you can't afford it, ask how you can create it. If it says you're not qualified, ask how you can learn. If it says stay comfortable, do what scares you. Wealth is built outside your comfort zone. It's not safe. It's not easy. It's uncertain. That's why most people never get it. Because they confuse comfort with security. But comfort is the cage. And every time you choose short-term comfort over long-term growth, you strengthen the poverty mindset. You tell your brain that safety is more important than freedom. That familiar struggle is better than unfamiliar success. But nothing changes until you change what you tolerate. You have to raise your standards, raise your expectations, raise your identity. Because you will never outperform the story you believe about yourself. If you believe you're destined to struggle, you will find a way to struggle even when money comes. If you believe rich people are evil, you will unconsciously block yourself from becoming one. If you believe you're not worthy, you will spend your life proving it true. The story you tell yourself becomes the ceiling on your potential. And the only way to raise that ceiling is to rewrite the story. You are not your past. You are not your family's limitations. You are not your environment. You are not your mistakes. You are the author of the next chapter. And that chapter starts with new beliefs. Wealth is not evil. Money is not bad. Wanting more is not greed. Money is a tool, a magnifier. It amplifies who you already are. If you're kind, money helps you help more people. If you're creative, money helps you build faster. If you're generous, money lets you give more. Money simply reveals and expands your character. The poverty mindset says, if I win, someone else must lose. The wealth mindset says, when I win, I can help others win too. The poverty mindset focuses on scarcity. The wealth mindset focuses on creation. The poverty mindset says, I can't afford it. The wealth mindset says, how can I afford it? One closes the mind. The other opens possibility. Every time you choose growth over fear, you chip away at the old code. Every time you invest in yourself, even when it's scary, you install a new line of belief. Every time you act in faith instead of doubt, you build the muscle of wealth. And that's what it is. A muscle. Not a magic pill. Not a one-time decision. A daily practice. A mental gym. You train your mind like you train your body. You feed it with books, mentors, challenges. You surround yourself with people who think bigger, who live at a higher level, who normalize success. Because proximity is power. And the fastest way to shift your identity is to upgrade your environment. Stop spending time with people who are committed to mediocrity, who complain, who gossip, who blame. Their energy is contagious, just like wealth is. Get around abundance. Listen to wealth-building conversations. Watch how successful people think, speak, move. They're not lucky. They're programmed differently. And so can you be. You can choose new thoughts, new beliefs, new standards. And when you do, the outer world begins to reflect the inner shift. Because money doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to value. When you increase your mindset, you increase your value. When you increase your value, the market rewards you. Not because you're chasing money, but because you're becoming the kind of person money is attracted to. That's the secret. Don't chase wealth. Attract it. Become it. Think like it. Move like it. Decide like it. And it will begin to show up. Slowly at first. Then suddenly. That's the compound effect. Small mental shifts repeated over time become massive external results. But you have to start. You have to reject the lies you were taught. You have to kill the old story. Because that story is the real wealth killer. Not your job. Not the government. Not the economy. The story. The invisible script playing in your mind every day. Telling you what's possible. What's realistic. What's safe. That story has to go. And you have to write a new one. A story where you're in control. Where you're the creator. Where wealth is normal, abundance is expected, and struggle is optional. That you were not born to struggle. You were born with the power to create, to design, to expand. But that power has been buried under years of fear and false beliefs.